Okay, let's get started here. Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's Kick-Ass Coach and the owner of Empowerment Coaching. I help frazzle business owners and entrepreneurs overcome their overwhelm so that they can enjoy more of their life and their business, which is about their mission in life. So welcome to this week's edition of Dr. Bonnie Delivers, where I share information gleaned from over, almost 30 years of work as a clinical psychologist and but roughly 8 years as a holistic coach. What I like to do is take that wealth of knowledge and give you little snapshots, pieces that you can use on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis that can help you move forward. So, today's episode is called How to Really Get Shit Done. And if you know someone who is really stuck in terms of they've got the best of intentions, they'd like to have big results, and they start working on something and then they just kind of poop out, please share this video with them live so that they can also join us right now and hear. I'm going to share a really cool tool for helping stay on track so that you can get those goals accomplished. Now, this piece of the process that I'm going to share with you fits into a bigger process that I walk my clients through, but I think this piece in and of itself is really helpful for getting on track and staying on track. And it covers all the bases. It covers the big picture. It covers what am I going to be doing for the next year, for the next 90 days, and this week. Okay? So, what I want to share about this process is, it's called the Sunday Sacred Focus process. And I want to share basically two stories. The person who I learned this from was Darren Hardy, who was the editor of Success Magazine, and his career was built on talking to people about what made them successful. So he interviewed the likes of Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, a lot of big names, and picked their brains about what made them so successful. So in this particular case, he was interviewing a man named Conrad, and how this came to be was he was invited to a boat show. And so he goes to this boat show and walks into the marina, and there are waiters wearing tuxedos handing out champagne and hors d'oeuvres, and he's walking down amongst the boats, which are actually yachts, going, wow, this is quite the level of success represented here. So he goes and finds the yacht that he was invited to a specific party on, and at the top, when he got on the boat, there was an elderly man named Conrad, and he just started striking up a conversation with him. Well, Conrad was actually the owner of that yacht, and it was one of the most opulent yachts in that marina. And so he had a conversation with Conrad about what had made him so successful in his life. And Conrad, in the course of that discussion, took a cocktail napkin and drew out what I'm going to draw for you here, to explain how he kept himself on track, how he kept himself moving forward with his goals. So if I piqued your curiosity, just put that in the comments. Ooh, I'm interested in this. I want to hear what he did to get that successful from very humble beginnings, actually. So the way I learned about this was through an online training class called Insane Productivity that was taught by Darren Hardy, and I highly recommend it. It was wonderful. The tagline for the Insane Productivity class was insane results, insanely fast, sanely. So I would highly recommend it. I thought it was a wonderful program, and I'm kind of a lifelong learner, so I like exposing myself to a whole lot of different learning styles, etc. And that was a really powerful program. So, with regard to Conrad, what he drew on the and Darren has redone the worksheet and kind of put his own twist on it, but I'm just going to give you the basics because it really is a simple little process and doesn't take very much time to do. I do mine on Sundays so that it's set for the week. Takes me roughly 15-20 minutes at the most. But all you want to do is draw 4 squares, and what you want to put on here first is your mission, or as Conrad would call it, your divine purpose. What are you here to do? What's your, oh, I see, we gotta turn this a smidgen. There we go. Your mission, what's your purpose here? What are you here to do? Whether it's your job, whether, whatever it is. Mine is to help people realize that they're capable of far more than they think we are. That I believe we can accomplish a whole lot more than we do. Which is one of the reasons that I put this process into place for myself, because it really has been helpful in terms of moving the needle forward with my up-leveling. So, every Sunday you fill this out, and it's basically your mission. So mine is, I'm going to put capable of far more. Okay, then what you do is you've got 4 boxes, and you're going to love box 4. Make sure you hang around until we get to box 4, because that one is a hoot. So boxes 1, 2, and 3 are your big goals. There was someone, and I can't remember if it was Jeff Bezos or who it was, but someone who said, and once I figure out who it is, I'll give them credit, but who said if you have more than 3 goals, you have no goals. You're spread too thin, you cannot focus at that point in time. So, 3 big goals. So let's say somebody's big goals are to improve their marriage, to get healthier, and to double their business. Now, you might think, well, that's kind of all over the map, but we want you to have a well-rounded life, right? So any of the work that you do in any of these is probably going to impact the others. If you're feeling better physically, you're probably going to do better at your work, and it's probably going to make your marriage go better too. Make sense? So what you want to do is, Darren suggests that you do your big 3 goals for the year. I prefer to operate in 90-day chunks, because I think quarterly is a good amount of time for people to hang on to a goal, and by then it may be getting a little bit, they may have accomplished a whole lot of it, or they may be interested in expanding that goal, or maybe they've gotten it done, they just want to move on to another goal. Whatever they're doing at that point, those 3 big goals, so let's say they're 90-day goals, all right? Then for every week when you fill out the form, the Sunday Sacred Focus process, what you're going to do is put the brainstorm, all the different things that you could do for that particular goal for that week. So for instance, improving your marriage, it might be a little step of, let's go out to dinner. It might be take a walk. It might be have a conversation. But just little steps that are doable within a week that would help with that goal of improving marriage. So now getting healthier. It might be things like eliminate sugar. It might be eliminate soda. It might be go for a walk. And notice here how we can get one step that actually can accomplish multiple things. And how cool is that? You get double bang for your buck. All right? That's the way to get shit done. So, doubling your business. Again, you're going to pick out some steps that within a week are accomplishable that work toward that big goal. Again, I like operating in a 90-day chunk. Darren Hardy likes operating in a 1-year chunk. Either way, you're going to be breaking it down to what can I do within a week. All right? So now you've got this laid out. So now we're getting to this box 4, the one that I told you is really fun. Okay, Darren calls it miscellaneous. Well, first I want to go back to these 3. Conrad called these three the Holy Trinity. I thought that was kind of a kick. Darren calls this one miscellaneous. Conrad calls it
the Devil's Vortex,
which I think is just hilarious. But basically, everything that you put in here are the things that get in the way of you accomplishing those goals you want to accomplish. So for me, one that would go here is games. Playing games on my phone. When I get tired, I tend to piddle around on my phone. So that would be one that I'd put there. It's getting in the way of accomplishing the goals. Sugar is another one because it gives me brain fog. So I'm not as sharp as I would be had I avoided that. So what you'll find in this fourth quadrant, the Devil's Vortex, all of those things, when you have it sitting here just like this, and I keep my form sitting right beside me at the computer so that I can look at it all day, every day while I'm working. These are the three things I want to accomplish, and this is the stuff that's going to get in my way. Makes it far less easy to just mindlessly fall into the stuff that isn't going to get us where we want to go. Okay? So this is the process that Conrad used to get himself from poverty to great wealth. I think it's also a process you can use to go from a very narrow, dissatisfied life to a very full, rich life. When you're focusing on what are the most important things to you and you keep that focus, it really does a lot to get you where you want to go. So then what you do is you're going to pick out, let's see if this shows up. Yep, I'm still visible. You're going to pick out your 3 MVPs, most valuable priorities. So out of these little things that you've put down that you can accomplish in the week, which 3 are the most important? So I'm going to pick a couple for you here, for our imaginary person here. Take a walk, made it in 2 places. I think that would be a most important priority because it's going to accomplish several steps toward a couple of your goals. Again, you're getting a whole lot of bang for your buck out of that one. Let's say we pick one of the elimination ones, okay? So let's say it's going to be eliminating sugar. I know, easier said than done, but we're approximating, we're taking steps forward. I don't care if it's 1 inch forward. Forward is forward. It counts, celebrate it, enjoy it, all right? So, also, look at your Devil's Vortex. What's going to help you avoid those things that you do that get in the way of accomplishing what you want to accomplish? So for me, one of the things that I do is I put my cell phone at a distance. So when I'm sitting there at night and I'm tired and I don't want to do anything that's really productive, at least I've moved the phone out of the way. If I'm going to go play a game, I'm going to have to put some effort into going to get the phone to do so. And I've got all these other things that are on here that I can do. So maybe I go for a walk instead of playing phone games, okay? So tell me, what was most helpful for you about this process? This idea of taking your mission, your big picture, what you want to accomplish in your lifetime, what you're here to do, breaking it down into the 3 big goals that you're going to accomplish this year or this 90 days, whatever you want to say, and then the brainstorming, all the little steps under each one, cowboying up and owning that you have behaviors that get in the way of accomplishing what you want to accomplish, listing those, and when they're staring you in the face, again, it's much harder to be mindless about them. I also think it's helpful if you have someone that can help you with accountability. This is one way of being accountable. It's another whole process. I see someone's asking when this will be replayed. It's actually going to be posted as soon as I finish and hit the button. It will go onto my page and it'll be there forevermore. Amen. Thanks for asking the question. So where was I? Let's see. Oh, MVPs. Picking out the things that are most important. One thing to do it on paper. Another thing to share it with somebody. I have a couple of accountability buddies who are as kick-ass as I am in terms of making sure we hold each other accountable for doing the things we say we're going to do. Do what we do and not doing things we said we weren't going to do. So I share this with them. They get to see what I'm saying I will be doing and I won't be doing, and then they'll follow up. I'll get a text message on Tuesday. How you doing on X? So if you have somebody that you can share accountability with, awesome. My vote is don't pick somebody that you're going to want to kill if they point out to you things that you're not doing, okay? Pick your accountability buddies carefully. All right. So, again, please, in the comments, let me know which things were most helpful for you. And, and you're asking who Conrad is. Conrad, actually, he didn't give, Darren Hardy shared the story of Conrad, who created this process, shared it with Darren. Darren then shared it with everybody who took his program. But he did not share Conrad's last name, so I'm not sure. But a highly successful individual. Let's see. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll see if I can catch them real quick before I finish up. One of the things that people have often said to me is you get more done in a day than other people get done in a week. How is that? This process is actually one of the ways that I do that. So every day I'm tracking how am I doing on my goals. And I had a friend who said, well, that's too rigid for me. And so we worked with her to come up with a way to make it seem less regimented. I like having my calendar. One of the things I will say about the MVPs, take your calendar and in pen, put a square where you're going to accomplish that particular thing. So for instance, taking a walk. If you just leave that as open-ended, well, we'll take a walk sometime this week. How often does that not happen? If you've had that happen where you made a commitment to something that you were going to do, but you didn't put it in your calendar, how often does it really happen? Put a comment in the comment section so that we can kind of track that. Typically, it doesn't happen. But if you take your calendar and you block out a little square and that's where that walk is going to happen, far more likely it's going to happen. Now, for those of you who are commitment phobic, they do have colored pencils that are erasable. So you could use colored pencil and put your little box in that way. But here's my rule of thumb with that. If you take something out of your calendar to put something else in, that thing you took out must be relocated within that week. Don't just dump it off into the abyss. Make sure you keep your commitment to having done that thing, okay? So don't lose track of the things that are most important. Again, these are the kinds of things that they're important, but they may not be all that urgent. It's not like the phone ringing. It's not like someone knocking at the door. It's not like someone dropping a whole bunch of papers on your desk. But these are the things that are going to get you to that mission that you're here to accomplish. So you don't want to just let them kind of drift off into nowhere. Again, if you take them off your calendar, readjust, put something else in your calendar, that thing that you've erased must be put somewhere else so that it happens. So, again, please let me know what was most helpful about what I shared today. Again, when I hit finish, it's going to post this so you can watch it again and again if you'd like. If you'd like more information about these same kinds of things, check out my website, which is www.empowermentandpurpose, all little letters, all spelled out, .com. And while you're there, if you haven't already, please sign up for my free audio download, 10 Minutes for Breathing Life into Your Life. What that does is it gets you on my email list. No, I am not going to inundate you with 8,000 emails, okay? What you're going to get from me is one email a week with a weekly tip for living a better life, and one email a month, which is my monthly newsletter that talks about things that are going on, retreats I'm offering, events I'm hosting, that kind of stuff. So that's it for this week's Dr. Bonnie Delivers. I'm glad that you joined me, and feel free to pass this on to other people who might be interested. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist, and remember, we're all capable of far more than we think we are.